What's up, everyone? Jason Gilbo here at JGilbo11, breaking down stacking options for tonight's slate. Always looking outside of Coors, but we'll talk about Coors real quick. I'm a big Jeff Hoffman guy. I like his numbers, good ground ball pitcher. Going to definitely work out in Coors. I think we're going to see him limit some damage. I'm not all in on stacking Arizona. You can make the case for him if you're building multiple lineups, but they're not going to jump out in terms of my favorite stacking option tonight. On the other side, I'm much more inclined to stack Colorado against Walker. Not that Walker's been bad this year, but you just look at his stuff. He's just much more inclined over a larger sample size to blow up. And I just think this Arizona Colorado offense with a couple of lefties like Blackman and Cargo can get to him, and then obviously Desmond and Arenado are tough, and Reynolds on the right side. So I like Colorado more as a stack there if I'm choosing anywhere between Coors. Looking outside of Coors, though, I love the Yankees. Team total of 6 going up against Ricky Nolasco. This is definitely one where I'm going to be stacking away with these Yankees side. And it's always tricky because you look, 1 through 6, 1 through 7, even if you want to toss in Gregorius, they're stackable. So if you're building multiple lineups, you can certainly make a couple of Yankee stacks and try and get some different pieces in, because you look at Aaron Hicks, Aaron Judge, Matt Holliday, Starlin Castro are a good 4, but you also have Brett Gardner, Gary Sanchez, as I mentioned, Gregorius in play there. So, on FanDuel, you can mix it up both ways because there's only 4 guys. DraftKings, you can add the 5th, you can add Sanchez, you can add Gardner in there. So looking at what Nolasco's done this year, over 350 WOBA to both sides of the plate. He's allowed 21 home runs. He's worse against righties, 386 WOBA to right-handers this year, 3.00 home runs per 9. You look at against lefties, 357 WOBA, 180 home runs per 9, over 35% hard contact rate to both sides of the plate. So Nolasco is definitely one of the poorer pitchers on this slate. You look at what these bats are doing. Everyone, that I mentioned outside of Gregorius has over a 200 ISO against righties this year, and Gregorius sits at 188. So a lot of power. Everyone's over a 350 WOBA outside of Gregorius. He's at 342. But I think with Seager being there, with Lindor being there, you can get Gregorius at really low ownership. But you just look at this Yankees team. I mean, loaded with power. They've been struggling a little bit of late, but this is a good spot to kind of get a stacking in. So Cleveland, they're my next team here. They face another weak Baltimore starter, which just seems to be them rolling out every day now. Kevin Gausman, usually he's been decent against lefties, but this year allowing a 349 WOBA, 35% hard contact rate. Against right-handers, he still reverse splits, 428 WOBA against righties, 1.79 home runs per 9 against right-handers. So Encarnacion continues to mash the ball. Love Jose Ramirez. He's expensive, which is, not inclined at his price and what his skill set is. I mean, he's shown the upside, but he's definitely more of a doubles, extra base hits guy. You got to hope he gets a couple of those in, and hopefully one gets out. But don't mind Ramirez. Lindor, Kipnis aren't badly priced on both sides. There's just a lot of potential here, and you just look at their numbers against right-handed pitching this season, absolutely excellent. Lindor, 220 ISO. You look at Kipnis, starting to come around a little bit. Jose Ramirez, 407 WOBA, Encarnacion, 261 ISO. Don't even mind Alani Chisenhall if you want to add in a 5th there, 318 ISO against righties this year. He's shown some power. So in that ballpark, a lot of potential on a warm night. There's a reason why it's definitely one of the higher totals. In terms of the third stack, Minnesota, I'll go back to the well here. They scored 9 runs last night. Miguel Sano hit a homer, and he's priced down even more on DraftKings. He's 3,900. It's actually a really cheap stack once you kind of break it down. Sano's your more expensive one. DraftKings, it carries a little bit more weight, but FanDuel's not badly priced at all. Brian Dozier, Eduardo Escobar, Miguel Sano, Robbie Grossman are the 4 that I'll be looking at here. Holmberg making another spot start. He's allowed a 372 WOBA to righties in his career, 2.24 homes per 9. The strikeout rate just sits at 11.9%. Hard contact, 37%. This Twins team, against lefties, they got a lot of lefty mashers. Look at Dozier, 434 WOBA, 262 ISO. Eduardo Escobar, 413 WOBA, 216 ISO. Miguel Sano, 404 WOBA, 275 ISO. Grossman, 344 WOBA. Power hasn't really been there against lefties, but I like him if he's hitting clean up again. 33% line drive rate. So love Minnesota. Good high total there in that ballpark. They're not badly priced. So those are the 3 outside of core stacks I'll be looking at today. And you can check out DaveFantasyCafe.com for our great tools and content.